I am Laura. I'm hoping that this works okay. I could not seem to get my file to upload, so I'm working on just recording off my TV. Here we go. All right, and this is Christy Parker. She's going to be my interviewee for my spiritual assessment. Hey, Christy.
Hi, Laura.
All right, so I have a couple of questions I want to ask you, and just feel free to answer them as honestly as you can. So we're looking to find your sort of get an idea of how you use spirituality or religion in your life. And so, what is there in your life that gives you internal support?
Well, I would say probably my children are a big gift and something I turn to that gives me hope and support and fulfillment. I do go to church, so I find comfort there in the music and the feeling that I get there. And I'm very close, with my parents, so family, I guess, in general. And yeah.
And so those things that you mentioned, church, your children, your parents, and the community that you feel in the church, those things give you hope and support and strength when things are difficult. Can you give an example of maybe when you had to lean on one of those pillars for strength during a difficult time?
Sure. Last year in the fall, I was diagnosed with a precancerous condition, and I had to go and have a procedure for that. And I was very scared and worried and upset. And so I went to, I say I probably leaned on my mom. She's a nurse.
Oh,
so not only is she kind of spiritual strength and support for me and helped me to get through it, but she was able to use her professional eye to help me through and understand what was really going on, and kind of a combination of both of those things.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Do you find a lot of comfort in the teaching of your church, in the doctrine of your church?
I do, but I'd say I guess I would classify myself a Christian, but I'm also I would say I'm like a potpourri of many different religious and spiritual practices. I kind of like to take what fits for me from different religions or spiritual practice. So, I love in the church, the emphasis in my church is on a lot about love and being of service. And so I find that really resonates with me, and the teachings in the Bible about love one another, and the golden rule and all that good stuff, and other religious practice like karma, and I pray, and I find it gives me comfort.
That's wonderful. Potpourri really lightens up a room. It just brings so much more to a room.
Yes.
Having that open-mindedness to allow all the different organized religions or spiritual thoughts to influence our lives. So do you consider your religious leaning to be an important part of your life in terms of attending church, or are you a regular attender of church?
Mostly, I haven't been so good lately. I don't know what's going on with the fall. Just my schedule has been off with getting there. But I feel better when I go, and I like for my kids to go as well too. I grew up in the church, and I find that I like to have somebody else telling them to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and all those kind of those things. I like to hear them to get the message from someone else besides me also. I feel like that helps them, and it helps me to remember.
That's a good point.
All that.
So I was thinking when you said your kids are a source of internal support for you, that sometimes kids are kind of the opposite of that. They can be kind of draining and the stressor. Yep. So maybe those things are connected. You take them to church and they get that message from someone else, and they're able to, provide for other people too, and have a different perspective.
Yeah.
What aspects of your religion are not so helpful?
I would say, in general, intolerance, not necessarily in my specific church, but religious Christianity as a whole sometimes has had a bad past with different things.
Starting with the Crusades.
Yeah, right? We're going to go way back. Or even now, sometimes just not being accepting of all different types of people,
Yeah.
Luckily, my church is very much in agreement with that, which fits with how I feel.
Do you mind me asking what denomination?
Methodist.
Methodist, okay. And then, so what aspects are helpful? I think we kind of covered that already, but the love and service.
The love and being of service, and embracing the kids, and I just love the old people there and the young people there and everybody in between, and all different types of people coming together, smiling at each other on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that all week long, but
not your business, right?
Yeah, really.
So, do you have personal spiritual beliefs that are independent of your organized religious beliefs?
I do. I mean, I'd say I have some different things that I do with prayer, and I like to do meditation too, not as much as I should, but I find that helps me in times of stress to try to unwind and be present and let go of whatever is stressing me out. Even to like crystals and stuff like that. I have my little crystal collection, and I just find them beautiful. I don't know if that's
enough said.
spiritual enough, but I like to have them close to me.
Do you believe in a God or higher power?
I do.
And what kind of relationship do you have with that?
I think my belief is, again, probably a hodgepodge of lots of different things. It has a lot to do with nature and appreciation of the beauty of the world, and love and positive things. But I also firmly believe in like science and the rules of law, and things happen in life, and but I believe that there is some kind of higher consciousness in all of us that connects us, and is a constant.
That's beautiful. Do you find that constant? Do you have access to that constant?
Not constantly. Probably when I'm going through struggles or difficulties, I reach out to it even more.
So going back to when you had the diagnosis of the precancerous diagnosis, did you find that diagnosis got in the way of your spiritual practice, or did it affect your ability to do the things that you usually do to enhance your spiritual practice? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that it did. It definitely pushed me, and I think there was a part of me that kind of was rebelling against those spiritual practices and those spiritual beliefs, but ultimately in the end I had to come around. It just kind of brought me back around to where I needed to be in acceptance, and again, things happen, so
I think it's very common. I work with cancer patients, and I see that so much, where there's this initial shock and then sort of those grief stages, the loss of security, really. So cancerous, anything is a loss of security. And so there's a lot of denial of previous beliefs. How can God do this to me? Why is this happening to me? That kind of thing.
All those things.
As a nurse, is there anything that I may do to help you access the resources that you usually, or I guess we have to sort of think about it retrospectively, but in that situation, as a nurse, would there be anything I could have done to help you access those resources in real time?
I just think what's helpful is just being present or listening, you know, to some of those fears. I think sometimes even the doctor, when she told me the diagnosis and the information about it, she did it in a really wonderful way and shared her own experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped me, I guess, to get over the initial news of it. And then, I don't know, I guess just encouraging someone to turn into their own power and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Are there any specific restrictions that you have on medical care that are associated with your beliefs?
No, give me all the stuff. Give me blood, whatever. No, I really don't have any restrictions on that.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And